Hey viewers, welcome to Real Astrology once again, and we have Prash sir again here, Prashant sir here again, and welcome sir, welcome once again. Thank you for accepting the invite once again, and really, pouring in comments are pouring in because you have touched a very valid topic and a very sensitive topic, which actually needs too much of attention right now as people are going haywire. Thank you so much for being here, sir.
Yes, Vanita, nice of you to call me back. And the thing is that, yeah, I use the name Prash for jyotish only. Okay. Because it is like a sort of Prashant, you can get it down to Prash, because that is a part of me. That's not what all I am. So it's just a part of me.
Wow, that makes sense.
So then I use that, and it is an anagram for Parashar as well. So it was it was a good name to use for that. And the thing with Jyotish and Vedic things in general is that we have to make this sort of thing that if Vedic science you get into, Vedic astrology, then your whole being in your lifestyle, everything has to tend towards Vedic. Okay. And right now what is happening is that people are going into Vedic while having a different kind of mentality, whether it's an Indian mentality or whatever kind of mentality. Okay, but people don't understand that if they go into Vedic thing, they'll find that it's very different Vedic culture from the today's culture, whatever today's thing is. So the Vedic is very let's say connected to nature and connected to divine kind of thing, and people have to get back to that. And that's only when the right thing and the right knowledge and the right consciousness will come to them. Okay, and then only after that they can go into the science. Okay, so this the Vedic thing is very important, and a lot of the things what people were saying in the comments in that thing as well were just because they don't understand Vedic. They think that today's culture somehow is paramount or it's most important. But what I've been saying is that the Vedic culture is important, and when you're going to do Vedic astrology, like this is a Vedic astrology channel and we talk about Vedic astrology, then you have to get into Vedic. What is Vedic? How did people live? What did they eat? What did they wear or not wear? Or what kind of places they lived in? What did they prefer? What was their lifestyle? What was their behavior? Okay, and all of this comes into play, like what was their body discipline, and all of that comes into play. Okay, once you get into all those basics, Vedic basics, then only you can go into a Vedic science. Absolutely. That's what I've been saying. And all the ignorance which is coming right now is because people don't have the right lifestyle, they don't have the right mentality, and they still go into the science. And that's why we are seeing all this pollution which is happening in Vedic astrology. So many nonsensical principles, so many nonsensical things. If this thing is and that, this will happen. Suddenly, like you lose your leg, you lose your eye just by certain placement, creating fear.
Set own rules
and creating fear in people. And it's just in general like a total havoc has been created in the name of Vedic astrology, and now it's just a name. But that's not astrology. That's nothing. It's like anyone saying anything. Basically, that's what it is. So that's what I would like to say first. And
yeah, I if you permit, sir, there are a few questions people have asked. If you permit.
Yes, Vanita, carry on.
Yeah, the first question I'm taking up is Vinay Kumar has asked, wonderful discourse by Prash, nailed the point about taking the action and depending on the chart and the grahas. Whatever the dashas and transits may say, if we live consciously, then it's totally in our hands. It is said that astrologers refuse to see charts of people who were involved in yogic sadhana. It's a beautiful question actually, because they have taken their lives in their own hands. I observe many times whenever I'm doing sadhana properly, I tend to fall on astrology and watch videos. Whenever I'm doing sadhana properly, I don't feel the need to look at astrology at all. Is it?
Yes.
Is it?
Yes. Yes. The thing is, okay, like the thing is this destiny thing, whether destiny can be taken into your own hands or not. To what I say to that is that finally, like your actions in the present, okay, your actions in the present will create your future. Okay. So, I mean, even if some karmas are coming from the past or whatever, they can be burnt in the fire of the right action in the present. Right action in the present is called tapasya.
Okay.
Tapasya. Okay, so in that tap means a fire burning. It burns away
Mm-hmm.
all karmas, attachments, all past things, everything. It burns everything away. So
Right.
so through tapasya, one can actually take one's future into one's hand.
Right.
And the whole Vedic thing, it's very clear that karma is pradhan. Karma is pradhan means action is paramount. Okay, karma pradhan hai. Like so, like that's what Krishna told Arjuna in Gita, and everywhere it is very very clear in the Vedic thing that actions are paramount, and through your present actions, do you create your future. So this whole thing where people have become too, it's called bhagavad, like where people think, oh, whatever has to happen will happen. There's nothing we can do about it. It's
Predestined.
this kind of,
Everything is predestined.
yeah, this kind of thing has actually taken away the whole importance of action. Okay, so people have become lazy, and they don't pay any attention to action because they think whatever has to happen is going to happen. And that's what Vedic astrology is also sort of having this notion now in amongst a lot of people and astrologers, like as if that these things are just I mean, what is the point of anything? We just I mean, the thing is, whatever your past actions are have created your present. Okay, so whatever circumstances, whatever that they have created your present. Okay, so your present actions will create the future. So even if whatever environment or circumstance you might be born in, or whatever, that's as per your past actions. Okay, but nothing is stopping you from doing the correct actions right now. Okay, so in the past, whatever you've done, you have gotten a circumstance. Okay, grahas, what do they give? They give you a circumstance.
Right.
You can be born into a certain family. You can be born with a lot of things or very little things. They give you circumstances. Okay, they don't give you actions. Okay, they give you circumstances. Okay, so people have to understand this. Okay, that they create circumstances around you. Okay, and but no matter what the circumstance. Okay, someone can have a very sort of let's say luxurious circumstance. Okay, and they might not do the right action in that circumstance. Some being can have a very like circumstance which is not so luxurious, and they're struggling, and all kinds of struggles are happening, and it's all problematic, their circumstance, but they can still do the right action within that problematic circumstance. Okay, so the point is to do the right action under any circumstance,
Right.
So your past actions and stuff which are just creating a circumstance right now around for you. So there is always a way to rise above it by doing the right action. The right action is tapasya, and that's what takes one above sadhana and tapasya.
Yes.
Sadhana is the beginning of tapasya. Okay, because you start focusing. Sadhana is focus.
Right.
On the right thing, on higher and divine, on nature, higher and divine.
Yeah, the higher realms actually. Yeah.
Higher and divine. You focus on higher and divine. That's what sadhana is, and then it turns into tapasya.
And that's the ultimate, actually. Everybody should understand that's the ultimate.
Yes. So the point is, all grahas are doing is just creating a sort of atmosphere around you, right? Your situation, your circumstance, with your own body or outside of yourself. They're creating, like, they can create a disease inside your body, or give you problems outside, or give you health and totally everything nice outside.
But sir, what he meant was, like, if he is doing the sadhana, he doesn't have to depend on astrology. But depending on astrology doesn't mean that you go by astrological, okay, you're doomed and stuff. It's a guiding tool, I feel. If you have certain things, you're aware are there in your chart. What do you think, sir?
Yes. I mean, the thing is, awareness is never a problem.
Yes.
But people have to understand something, that all time is right for the right action. Okay. There's no bad muhurat.
No.
For a correct action. Okay.
Yes.
Like, if you want to do sadhana or tapasya, you don't have to take out muhurat, whether I'll start it from right now or 5 o'clock. That is a good nakshatra. There's a good that thing. There's a good yoga there. There's a good current. There's a good that thing. Then only I'll do that. So because you can start anytime, and it has to be all the time continuous. By definition, sadhana and tapasya are continuous in time. So they don't depend on good days or bad days,
No, not at
or
all.
good yogas or bad yogas, or good currents or bad currents,
Hmm.
or they're not dependent on any of these things. So the right action is obviously totally independent of all of these things. Uh, Again, Jyotish was to create an awareness about time and nature of time.
Hmm.
Time is there and there's a nature of it.
Hmm.
And to understand that and have awareness of it, that's never wrong.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
But that is only for certain actions of different kinds, but not for tapasya and sadhana.
No.
All time, all dashas, everything is good for that. Okay,
True.
there is nothing which is not good for that, because finally you take the decisions. You are the controller,
Right.
and
Right.
you can decide what you want to do. Even if a graha is giving you a mental thought, okay, do this, but it is finally up to you to do it or not do it. You are the boss
Yes.
of your own actions.
True.
So
No,
you can
keeping
choose
that
what
we are heading to, thinking about it. Okay, this is not a good phase, so we cannot sit. We have to perform. We have to act. We have to.
yeah. Yeah, and that's why a lot of people get very depressed and stuff when they, like they say, oh, bad dasha is going to come, or now it's bad dasha, or things don't work out for them in the outside world. Then they get very depressed because they don't know what to do. Like, because there's a whole lot you can do even when things are
Yes.
totally bad.
Yes.
As long as you have the body, you can do the right actions using the body. As long as you have the last breath, you can use any breath to do the right action. Okay. So that is what people have to focus on. And that has to be part of, without this understanding, Jyotish cannot be gone into, Vedic astrology cannot be gone into, otherwise you will be totally struggle,
True. True.
and all kinds of misnomers and everything will get into your head about the whole thing.
Yes.
So yeah, what I'm saying is I don't want people to get out there, like, because a lot of people would sort of scare you and everything, not to get
Actually.
scared,
Yes.
and not to get, I mean, like
Influence in a negative.
influence in that way, like, oh, now my bad kid, like 16-year bad dasha is there, or 19-year bad dasha is there, what am I going to do, like, and
And there
all this
are
thing.
people who are self-literate, sir. There are people who are self-literate about astrology, and they come up with this. Oh, my Saturn dasha has just started. I don't think so. I'm not going to have a good time anymore in my life.
I'm doomed now.
I'm doomed.
Doomed for 19 years now. Okay,
19
like,
years gone.
yeah. I
So
mean,
why so much of fear, sir? They have so much of, like, I don't know why Saturn dasha, why Ketu dasha, Rahu dasha. They are like, oh my God, I'm now it's over now for me. My
okay, yeah, it's ignorance. It's
yeah,
ignorance.
that's what.
Okay, first, I mean, the first, like even in the way they want, normal, whatever they want, in that way also Saturn, Rahu, and Ketu dashas can be good and can give you things what you want.
Exactly.
Okay,
Exactly.
okay, first number. And in other ways, even if any graha is not giving you, that can be Jupiter, Venus, or Moon, or Mercury also will not give you what you want a lot of times.
Hmm.
And even in that, any time, you can always do actions which evolve you. Okay, because you've taken this human birth on earth to evolve.
Hmm.
Okay, so you can do evolving actions in any dasha. There is no dasha which will stop you
No.
from doing evolving actions. Okay, so beings are very, actually, their fear is of discipline. Okay, fear of Saturn is what? Fear of discipline. Okay, I don't want to be disciplined. Saturn might bring some discipline,
Hmm.
might force me to be disciplined.
True.
Okay,
True. True.
I might get into situations where I need more discipline. Okay, so
Yes.
the fear is of just controlling yourself, actually,
Hmm.
or bringing some discipline
Or
onto
maybe
yourself.
working too hard. Saturn
Yeah,
is going to
yeah.
make you
It's
work
not
hard.
working. It's not a question of hard. It's a question of when you even discipline, self-discipline, people consider a hard work.
Hard work. Yes.
Yeah, just to discipline their own self is considered a hard enough work. So the point is, if you're like that anyways, if you don't mind disciplining yourself, which you have to do anyways, if you don't do, then you will get bad results anytime. It's not just Saturn. you know yeah, if you're not self-disciplined, then you will get bad results in anything, and you're destroying your future anyways. So it does not matter. So you have to be that anyways, and once you are that, you will not be afraid of Saturn coming or any such thing.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
so so that's the thing people need to understand before they even go into Jyotish. That's why I wrote this good book called Peace Gita. I think I want people to read that.
Yes, Peace
Okay,
Gita. Yes, yes.
Peace
I
Gita
think I
before.
have shared the link in the description in the previous one also. So I'll share it in this video also in the description. You must
Yeah.
go and grab that copy. It's
Okay. Read that before you read any jyotish. Okay. Get your basics clear. Get your psychology sorted before you enter this, so that all this kind of craziness doesn't happen. So you are much more balanced about it. You're much more objective about it. You're much more clear about it. Okay. Balance, objective, and clear. These are the three things which being needs to have before going into this. Otherwise, it's a very dangerous thing. And that's why rishis never taught the science to masses of general public. I mean, it was not taught in the ancient times also, that everybody was learning. Nowadays, everybody's learning it. Everybody who gets online, anybody can read some books, anybody can go online and start watching some channels. So whatever, people can do that right now. In ancient times, that wasn't so, because you had to be actually prepared. There's a level of preparedness required to go into that. You have to be qualified to enter this science. Okay. And that qualification is not there anymore right now. Anybody can jump into it. And
right.
that's why we are seeing this confusion and this commotion and this problems and stuff which are happening. So people have to, even if there's no qualification, one should put that on oneself, that I would rather get to some level
Right.
within my being and self before I approach a sacred science like jyotish. Okay. So that one has to have that respect for it.
Yes.
And
Respect.
so
Right. Yes.
yeah. So this is, I mean, like, it's good, like more people are coming to know this, as by this comment, that more people are coming to know. And that's why I'm talking here, so that more people come to know that this is
Yes,
what is required.
actually, sir, actually people should appreciate that you are making time for their own, benefit. It's such a honor for me to hear from you the Peace Gita, from your mouth. And it is, people are lucky to know, who have not been following the right path. It's really good for them that, you are imparting that. The fear that they have, that has to be eradicated first. So this is the right way to,
Yes, and people have become more like information junkies about astrology. Like, okay, so it's like a drug now. So everyone wants to know. Okay, second lord is in 10th. Okay, now I'll earn a whole lot from my profession, and I'll get a whole lot of money. Second is money, and 10th is profession, and my profession will go very well, and I'll earn a whole lot of money. And if it doesn't happen, then they get very upset and they say, oh, why is my 10th, second lord in 10th not working? I'm running its Mahadasha. What is the problem? I can't even stick to any job or anything, because Jyotish is not such a superficial science where you can, and there are a lot of people who are going to come and tell you that, oh, second lord in 10th, this will happen, that will happen, so that's not how Jyotish has to be handled, and people are getting totally, they want this kind of information. Even to me, they want me to just say, like, okay, third lord and fourth, what is it going to do?
They want you to talk about nakshatras.
Or third lord and fourth, what is going to do? I mean, I said it does different things for all different charts.
Yes.
A lot of people are third lord and fourth, but it will not be in the same nakshatra, it will not be in the same sublord, it will not have the same situation. And the whole, and its nakshatra lord will be placed somewhere else, in different charts, everything. It's not going to be the same thing. You can't say third lord and fourth will give just this kind of result. That's what I call bogus astrology. It's not real, it's nonsensical. And people are wanting more and more of this kind of information. I mean, even nakshatras, I mean, like I gave in my book the basic general idea of nakshatras. Now people are taking that and creating some sort of crazy things about them, like each nakshatra, which is again taking it away. It takes away the meaning of the nakshatra.
Yeah.
Okay.
True.
Okay. I mean, if people people say that, okay, that this thing is going to be this, Maga is always going to be king, like, or like that thing, or stuff like that. So if anybody has Maga in their chart, then they expect to reach a king's position, like, so.
I don't know whether I should be laughing or I should be crying.
Yeah,
I'm just,
yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah,
really,
yeah, yeah.
it's just sad. It's ironical, actually. It's
Yeah,
ironic.
yeah, yes. I mean, so, I mean, we don't want this kind of that thing going on. I mean, there was a basic psychological makeup of all nakshatras which I had given very, very clearly, and and that works. People can apply it, and people will find it will work. But uh, for actual prediction and stuff, astrology is a very deep science, and it requires a lot of things
Mm-hmm.
to make prediction. It's a technical thing subject at the time. It becomes like, how your television works.
Right.
How television has so many circuits, and you have to know all the circuits properly for it to work properly. So it is a technical science at that level. And people are not equipped right now mostly to have that kind of technical
Mm.
insight into it. So and then people are just going by these fake rules and these fake that things like first lord and 10th this, first lord and 7th this, or this kind of thing, which will not work. Okay. I mean, a lot of time people will learn this only up there by their own. Some people will learn by their own experience.
Yes.
They can keep on applying these things, and they'll find that how much they work and how much they don't work. They, because we have so many things like Manglik
Mm.
dosh. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Manglik is like half the world is Manglik.
Yes.
If it's so many houses, 2nd, 7th, 12th, 4th, like, I mean,
It.
yeah, yeah, ascendant. So, I mean, most of the, so like everybody's Manglik dosh.
Yeah,
Like,
it said that around 70% of the population is Manglik. You have to see
yeah,
from Moon also, from Venus also, and from
yeah,
Ascendant also. So,
yeah,
what
more than 70%. More than 70% would be Manglik.
Manglik?
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, this is a joke. I mean, and I have already said before that Mangal means good. Like Mangal Mek means like something good is happening.
Hmm.
So Manglik doesn't mean something bad is going on.
Yeah.
It means something good is going on. Nothing. Mangal is not a bad word,
Hmm.
but Manglik has become a bad word.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Magic.
Manglik means something. Mangal karya ho raha hai. Mangal karya means something good is happening. It's
Good is
nothing.
happening. Yes.
Yes, nothing negative.
Hmm.
So all these
For a
things have
female,
to.
it is a Mangalia. It is a Mangalia sthan, as we
Yeah.
say.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, people have to get above these kind of things and, just go into real Vedic and stuff and go into the rishis. I mean, rishis started Jyotish and they are the ones who knew about it. And those beings did not live like the beings of right now. Okay.
No.
So they had connection with nature. They all had their ashrams in nature and stuff. They had connection with nature. They were not, and they had a different kind of thing. They were not concerned about clothes or this or that. They are a different mentality completely. So
But
people
sir,
have.
I'm so
Yeah,
sorry to interrupt you here. People are saying that we are in this present era. We should with the pace of time, we should just match up and stuff. So, what is your
yeah.
take on that? This is like something
Okay.
which has come
Okay.
to me here.
Match up also in this era. Also, there are different things. There's a Western civilization. Western is different.
Yes.
Okay, how they do things is different from that thing. So
Mm.
in this earth, there's not only just one kind of thing.
Right.
There are hundreds of thousands of kind of things
Mm.
right now.
Yes.
So whom are you going to match up to? That you have to decide.
Exactly.
What are you matching up to exactly? You know what I'm saying? There are a lot of things right now here as well.
Mm.
So
Every culture has a different way of dressing. Every
yeah,
state,
yeah,
India itself,
yeah,
if you change, if
yeah.
you cross one state, whole attire
Yeah.
changes.
And tribal people are still there. They dress up in a tribal way only. Like, I mean, so you're gonna say no, you can't be like that, or all everybody has to follow these kind of particular people's thing only. I
Yeah,
mean
all
that. Yeah,
conditioned. So
yeah,
maybe
yeah. I mean, from tribal people to Western people to the whole thing, there's a whole lot of difference. Everywhere, like Jim saying, there is no one way of being in that. I mean, in this time also, I mean, like different beings are like doing what they want to do, because finally it's your own body. How you're going to treat it, and that's up to you, and the point is that a lot of diseases which actually come from wearing a lot of clothes. Like India, for example, is a hot country.
Hmm.
If you wear a lot of clothes in a hot country, you will not let your skin breathe, and then you will get all kinds of diseases. That's all.
Right, right. Absolutely.
And people are wearing all kinds of like fabrics which are not good for them, which is not cotton and polyester and all kinds of things. And in a hot country like India, there was not need for this kind of clothing, you know. And I mean, and in the Vedic time in ancient India, there was no stitched clothing, you know, and there was no tailors or this kind of thing, you know. It was only simple cloths which
Yes.
were used, straight spun cloths which were used. And that too, in that kind of heat, you can't wear that much, you know. If you wear that much in that kind of heat, you know, like, then you need AC, you know,
Right.
basically. And then when you need AC is bad for health anyways, you know.
Yes.
So it is like, first you wear all those clothes, then you want AC, then you need this and that, and it's a very strange vicious cycle, you know.
Yes. It's a
So
vicious cycle. You're right.
so people have to get back to some common sense
Hmm.
about
And
things.
somebody has to start, like, I feel that it has to
Yeah,
start somewhere, because we are
yeah,
getting caught up in this vicious cycle so much.
yes,
Like,
yes,
okay,
and obviously, like,
and then you get comments like from others, if you're not dressed as per their norms, as per their standards, then you
yes,
get
I mean that their standards are basically for getting like all kinds of diseases only, because, you know, I
imitating them,
mean,
maybe.
yeah, yes, and not connecting with nature, because majority of the population who's reading these things or who's gumming or that, they have no connection with nature.
Right.
Okay, once you connect with nature, only then you come to know what you have to do and when, you know.
Yes.
So then it gives you some common sense. Like, even like Venus, like, which is actually the ruler of clothes and stuff, is a planet of comfort and luxury. Okay, so you do wear whatever is comfortable. Okay, it's a matter of comfort. It's not a it's a matter of common sense and comfort. It's not a matter of someone else or not someone else, you know. Like, so for Indians it might be a problem if people are going to beach and going into the ocean with no clothes on or very little clothes on, but that's the most comfortable thing to do, to go into an ocean. Okay, like, you know, like going into an ocean with full clothes on is not anything to do with comfort or anything like that. Okay, so I mean, it's a whole mindset, you know, which has to change. And in the Vedic thing, like, the clothes were not an important thing anyways, the body was.
Right.
So maintaining your body and having a discipline for your body and maintaining it properly, eating the right diet, having a right posture, that was important,
Yeah. Right.
not what you're wearing, you know.
True.
Now the mindset is you are judged by what you wear. So that is totally nonsensical. Not what you know, not what you are dealing with, how you're dealing with your body. No, like, so I mean, that is the worst, like, most superficial way of being, you know,
And what are your
which can,
actions, mainly the
yeah,
actions, as you said, thinking thought is not important, the action is important. In the
yes,
last time
yes,
you said that.
yes, and they're not worried about actions or anything. Just worried about clothes is just a totally. Uh, I mean, it's a nonsensical thing completely, because then basically you're not having any common sense, you know. So, and common sense comes in connection with nature, because nature has sense, a natural sense about it. So the more you connect with it, the more natural sense you get. Okay, I mean, even jyotish is a natural science. It's a science of nature. These
Yes.
grahas, these energies and stuff, they're all in nature. All these nakshatras, mandals are all in the sky. Like, you know, it's not a science which is beyond nature. Now people have turned it into, like, there's nothing to do with nature or divine. Okay, but
Not at all.
it has all to do with it, you know. And the more people stay away from it, the worse the situation is going to get. So every time I come and talk, like I'm talking to you, I want these things to be more clear, you know.
Yes.
So that people understand, like, even like, that Venus doesn't mean polyester clothing and, you know, all this heavy jewelry or, like, which
You're
will
right.
make you uncomfortable. Yes,
Yes,
so
you should be comfortable. You should know how to.
yeah,
Obviously, looking good is very important these days for many, like people like me. I also have that, to look good. I feel
yeah,
good about myself. When I look good,
yes,
I feel that,
yeah,
if you are comfortable yourself,
yes.
it's.
So for looking good, you have to be healthy first.
Yes, exactly. I was coming to that.
Yes,
There are many
yeah,
comments, because I got. Thank God for that. I thank my audience for that. When I posted my son's picture with in the community section. So they said, oh, you don't look like a mother of an adult. So
Yes.
it is your, actually, I believe that your thought and your actions, you know, they actually reflect on your face.
Yes. And I mean, there's a Venus is all about beauty
Yes.
and looking good.
Yes.
But for beauty and looking good, you have to avoid all nonsense.
True. Nonsense everywhere. From
Everywhere,
all the sides.
All the sides. Okay, then only you'll get towards beauty and that thing. Oh, So,
I agree.
I mean,
I totally agree.
yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. So there's nothing against like the whole the multiverse is all for beauty.
Right.
It's all for looking good. And that's all good, you know. But that doesn't depend on your clothes. That depends on you, like I'm saying, and how you are taking care of yourself. You know.
Yeah.
You know, like in the Vedic time, they used to look good. I mean, all the apsaras look very good and everything. It's not because of their clothes; it's because of their form.
Yes.
You know.
Yes, absolutely.
So I mean, all of that, like for these people and stuff, like these things are bad. Apsaras are bad. Heaven is bad. Higher things are bad. Rishis are crazy. I mean, only they and themselves, how they live in their kind of little world, that is good, and that world is miserable world. Everybody's having all kinds of diseases, you know, and
lifespan has shortened up so much.
Shortened so much. I mean, there's so many problems, mental, psychological problems, and physical problems, and the thing is so bad. Your situation is so bad, and you should not be pointing fingers at others when your situation yourself is so bad. Like, I mean, you should try and improve your own situation. You know, and for that, I think Vedic astrology is a good starting point.
Point finger like this first.
Yes, and Vedic astrology is a good starting point for going into Vedic sciences. So what you have to understand, what is Vedic, how are the rishis, what from Vedic astrology one should automatically come to Parashar. Okay, how was Parashar Rishi? How was he? What did he live like? What was his lifestyle? Okay, I mean, to have this knowledge of astrology, like what, that is more important, you know, than just reading Brihad Parashar Hora Shastra. Okay, like, you know, and because that has got a lot of problems in it anyways from the Middle Ages, a lot of distortions have been put in it. So that will not give you an idea. So you have to go into what is Rishi Parashar like, or what are these beings like, and what they used to do. So that is a more important thing to learn. So if people are getting interested in Vedic astrology, that's a very good thing. They should be. But from there, they should take it forward to the Vedic things as a whole and improve themselves holistically, their whole being, you know. So, and I mean, they should all strive for beauty and upliftment and evolution. Everyone should strive for that. You know, that's why we are here, so that we go aim higher towards heaven and higher realms. You know, we're not here to go down lower and towards hell and narks and all of these kind of things and create more problems for ourselves. You know, so that's a very good thing. That's what I'm trying to do. Whatever I'm saying is for people's evolution only. It'll only help them in evolution. That's all. That's why I'm saying.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. This is really a greatness.
So Jyotish has a key role in guiding humanity, but towards the right direction. So people who go into Jyotish, all of them should have this thing very clear. What is the final thing? Because Jyotish is about life. Life is a whole thing. It's a full thing, full circle. Okay. Now you have to make sure that the whole thing is right. Okay. So that's what Jyotish is about as well. Like, so you can't disconnect it from that. It's not just for saying like, when I'm gonna get married or not gonna get married or anything like that. You know, like, I mean, you do your actions. I mean, and whatever has to happen in that way, you can get whatever. But you have to do the right actions yourself. Doesn't mean that you're gonna sit down and just wait for something to happen.
No,
somewhere.
That effort has to be there. Yes.
And that is constant. Like, you have to live. Life means every moment is an action.
True.
Okay, like every moment is an action, so you can't stop really.
Not at all.
But yeah, so people are, but using Jyotish in the way it is being used right now, there has to be a direction change as a whole. I would say a holistic direction change in Jyotish, where people again turn it into a sacred Vedic science rather than keeping it to like a sort of thing where, you know, like people are just scaring each other, or like, you know, creating confusion, making up false rules, wrong laws, and all of that, you know. And anything which has to come, you know, like understanding has to come from being connecting with nature and working on yourself. All my jyotish, my books and everything came out from my own realizations and my own work, internal work. They didn't come from reading some book or any such thing. So
My
you have to connect with the source within and the nature outside in order to like get the real things, you know, actual real things. So that's
because
what.
nobody, I think even you have not met anybody who's come to you for asking when will be my spiritual growth.
Yeah,
People will
I
come
mean,
for career and
yes, I mean,
marriage.
in my website, I think only question allowed is spiritual question.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
only spiritual queries allowed. Okay. So,
Okay.
so
That's
yeah,
nice.
I mean, I don't allow for other queries usually. So,
Okay.
uh, but yes, people try to still ask those questions. What you were saying,
Still ask, yeah.
and people do because, but that has become the norm because evolution is not on anyone's agenda. You know,
Mm.
people don't think that that's important when that's the only thing which is important if you have a human birth. You know,
Mm.
so
Right.
other things are not important, and people will learn. You know, people will need to learn that, and I think jyotish can teach people that because there is a fifth house, there's a ninth house. You know,
Mm.
the whole concept of higher thing is there within jyotish. Okay,
Right.
so that's called Lakshmi Sthan. You know, so they call like they're important houses. The trines are considered the most important houses.
Mm.
Why are they considered most important houses? Because they are spiritual houses. Okay,
Yes.
that's why. So it's the engine. It's a triangular engine of your wheel,
Mm.
which either will go down or will go up,
Right.
which you have to. So that's why they call Lakshmi Sthan. Lakshmi doesn't mean money. You know.
Yeah, that's what
So
it's interpreted as.
yeah,
Lakshmi
yeah,
Sthan. Mm.
yeah. Lakshmi means goal.
Mm.
Okay, so if you have a higher goal and you reach the higher goal, then that is Lakshmi.
Mm.
Okay, so
Mm.
it's, they have just reduced it to money. That's a very and obviously then a lot of people are running fifth and now ninth house and they say they're not getting money even though this is Lakshmi.
Yeah. Yes, so true. So
Yes,
true.
yes, yes. So I mean, so it is a very that thing
Pitiable,
people have.
actually.
Yeah, people have to that thing and reconsider. I'm not saying don't go into Jyotish. I'm saying go into Jyotish, but see it as a that thing that we have to get into Vedic as a whole. You
Yes.
know, not just that. See it as a doorway, a gate into Vedic world, not just as a thing within itself.
So
Okay.
in the next video, maybe you can tell them the steps to uh, get into Jyotisha, Vedic
Okay.
Jyotish. Maybe
Okay. Okay.
that
We
can,
can do that next. We can do that next time. Yes. I
yes.
think that's enough for now for today.
Yeah.
And
So
we
I
can do
think
that.
yes, we can just do that, and then how we should the approach that you opt for, how you have evolved
Yes.
so
Yes.
much. So
Yes.
I think that
Yes.
will really help us a lot. Like at least I am looking forward to this, and I'm sure there are many more who are really
Yes.
following you and look forward to that. So thank you so
Okay.
much, sir. Thank you so
Yes.
much for being here and
Yes.
making time to actually impart this knowledge in the right manner. Actually, the rishi himself is here
Yes.
imparting.
Yes.
Thank you
Yes.
so much, sir. Thank you so much,
Yes.
and
Yes, Manit. Yes.
stay blessed, everyone. Om Tat Sat.